Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Friday, the 18th of December. Afghanistan becomes WTO member after years of negotiation. US expresses concern over Pakistan's growing nuclear arsenal. And now for all the details. The US has voiced its concern over Pakistan's proliferating nuclear and missile programs. Pakistan is believed to have the world's fastest growing nuclear stockpile.
The US has asked Pakistan to restrain its nuclear arsenal and missiles programs while expressing concern over the increased risk to nuclear safety and strategic stability in the region. As with all nuclear-capable states, we have urged Pakistan to restrain its nuclear weapons and missile development and stress the importance of avoiding any developments that might invite increased risk to nuclear safety, security, or strategic stability. Richard G. Olson, Special U.S. Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan, said. Olson, who till recently served as U.S. Ambassador to Pakistan for 3 years, added that Pakistan is neglecting terror groups operating on its soil that pose a threat to both India and Afghanistan. They have focused more on the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan than they have on external terrorist actors that threatened their neighbors, whether Afghanistan or India, he told members of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He also added that terror had always been the focus of discussion between the two countries, adding that in all dialogues, U.S. asked Pakistan to take action against the Haqqani network and Taliban. Pakistan has avoided entering into any agreement that could impose restriction on its growing nuclear arsenal and mainstream the country's weapons program. The country claims that its arsenals are for self-defense and they won't compromise on it.
Traders of Pakistan's richest city, Karachi, are protesting against the provincial government for reducing the powers of the paramilitary forces in the region.
Traders in Karachi, capital city of southern Sindh province, took out a rally on Thursday to mark their protest against limitations imposed on the military in the region by the Sindh government in a resolution passed in the provincial assembly. The decision has set up a showdown between the powerful military and civilian government in Sindh province ruled by the opposition Pakistan's People's Party. It also represents a tussle with the central government in Islamabad run by Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, whose civilian government broadly supports the military-backed campaign in the commercial hub. The resolution clips the number of crimes for which the rangers could detain suspects to targeted killings, extortion, kidnapping for ransom and sectarian killings. The crackdown by the rangers in the late 2013 had brought down Karachi's sky-high murder rates.
Rangers के हुकूक और इख्तियारात की बहाली के लिए अगर शटर डाउन हड़ताल भी करनी पड़े तो हम करेंगे। मैं हुकूमत सिंध से, वजीर आला से और पीपल्स पार्टी के सरबराह आसिफ अली जरदारी से एक मरतबा फिर अपील करता हूँ कि चंद लोगों को बचाने के लिए पूरे पाकिस्तान का वाक़ई मुस्तक़बिल बर्बाद न करें।
In August, murders were down to 202 for the year compared with 2,507 for the same period in 2013 according to available records. However, critics say the campaign has increased the number of extrajudicial killings. Opposition parties like the MQM has alleged that it has also resulted in their own activists being targeted.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan. After more than a decade of negotiations, Afghanistan has become a member of the World Trade Organization or WTO. The Afghan government called it a historic membership to boost the economy and build peace in the war-torn nation.
Afghanistan has become the 164th WTO member and the 36th least developed country to join the global trade body. The approval of its membership came during the WTO's 10th Ministerial Conference in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. Afghanistan government has called the accession a historic event and a part of its strategic objective to achieve economic stability and peace in the country. Today is a historic day for Afghanistan as we reaffirm our commitment to free market economy in order to alleviate poverty and achieve lasting peace and stability, said Mohammad Khan, Afghanistan's first Deputy Chief Executive, at the ceremony. The United States has also welcomed Afghanistan membership and termed it as a step forward for a better economy for the country. For Afghanistan, accession to the WTO is a major step forward for the Afghan government's effort to unlock the potential of the Afghan economy, said US State Department spokesperson John Kirby. The accession is set to improve business environment in Afghanistan and will encourage public-private partnership in the war-torn country.
The German parliament has approved government's decision to continue military deployment in Afghanistan. German Defense Minister Ursula von der Leyen has urged the Afghanistan government to implement promised reforms.
Nearly 80% of lawmakers in the Bundestag, Germany's lower house of parliament, approved the increase of its troop deployment in Afghanistan from 850 to 980 personnel. German military deployments require an annual approval by lawmakers in the Bundestag. German Defense Minister Ursula von der Leyen called the original plan of withdrawing most of its troops by 2016 too ambitious and said that it emboldened the Taliban. Leyen also said that the onus is now on the Afghan government to systematically implement earlier promised political and economic reforms in the country.
Unsere Botschaft, wir bleiben länger, ist aber auch kein Blankoscheck für Afghanistan, sondern sie ist verbunden mit einer klaren Erwartungshaltung an die Regierung. Die Regierung in Kabul muss die besprochenen und versprochenen Reformen in der Politik, zum Beispiel die Wahlreform, aber auch in der Wirtschaft, die wirtschaftlichen Reformen endlich konsequent umsetzen.
Germany had originally planned to withdraw most of its troops by 2016 and limit its military presence in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. However, the deteriorating security situation and brief capture of the northern city of Kunduz by Taliban in September prompted all NATO forces, including Germany, to reviewing their earlier plans.
With Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Clean India campaign is also associated the Cleaning Ganges drive. Now, the United States has joined hands with India for this noble initiative.
The United States has said that it will cooperate in cleaning river Ganges in the holy city of Varanasi. The Ganges is a sacred river to the Hindu population in India. But the 1,600-mile-long river is full of industrial effluent and untreated sewage.
Environmental cooperation between our two countries, I do think, is one of the big areas of cooperation in the future, environmental and clean energy. So we talked about ways that we can engage in technical collaboration, scientific collaboration, government to government.
President of Panchaganga Foundation, an organization that works towards protection and preservation of the environment, said that US's step will help in restoring the Ganges.
Our Honorable Ambassador has told us, has assured us that he will talk to the government for more technical new techniques, or the more of the best things they have done with their river, how they have cleaned their river. They will share their views, their experiences, how they have enforced the laws and the jurisdiction to clean their river in USA.
Indian Prime Minister has vowed to clean up India, starting with Varanasi by 2019. Environment experts have said that this would address issues like reduced meltwater flows into the river caused by the progressive retreat of Himalayan glaciers. In 2014, India signed a deal with Japan under which Tokyo also agreed to extend support in cleaning Ganges to make it pollution-free.
Christmas is only a week away and Christians across India are gearing up for the big day. Take a look at how people are soaked into merrymaking.
The festive mood is visible among the Christian community in India. Markets are swollen up with busy shoppers who immersed into the preparation. Shops are luring people with a huge variety for decorations like stars, lights, Santa Claus dolls, bells and Christmas trees.
We purchase Santa Claus dress, cap, then stars, different kinds of illumination, something like that. Yeah.
Although the prices of the decorative items have increased, it is far from affecting the business. Although Christians form less than 3% of India's over 1 billion population, Christmas is widely celebrated in the country by people of all faith with pomp and gaiety. Carols, cakes, candles, beautiful Christmas trees and exchange of gifts marks the Christmas celebration.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Afghanistan becomes WTO member after years of negotiation. US expresses concern over Pakistan's growing nuclear arsenal. And Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol reunite to unleash romance on cinefans. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.